Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Systane Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Systane Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
Ah, DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Thanks for watching here on a Tuesday, YouTube TV, or listening on Sirius XM channel 158, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. In 15 minutes, our first edition of Top Bottom, best and worst teams in the NFL and college football ATS, and with totals, and one final rundown of ROI numbers in Major League Baseball. Paul Stone in 30 minutes, college football best bets, and how he would bet the Ryder Cup at this point. That is this week, a very popular event. And we'll take you inside our Pizzeria. The tip jar is open. Long shot bets coming up in 45 minutes. Pauly, super sad news over the weekend as Dave Sharapan passed away. The news broke late Saturday night / early Sunday morning. He was in the sports betting community and racket for a long, long time. A wife, 3 daughters, and this escalated quickly because he was kind of documenting what he was going through on Twitter with some setbacks that he had in the summertime. And then all of a sudden, hey, the 3 words you never want to hear, you have cancer. He's like, wait, what? Are you serious? And he actually, I think you may have been off during the summertime when Humans was filling in. And this was like in the midst of him like going through a hard spell. I think it was right before the cancer news. He walked through the book. He saw that Humans and I were in studio. We're in a commercial break, and he just looked up and he does the heart like this to us. And we were just like, oh man, great to see you. You're looking good, whatever. And we were like, yeah, doing the same thing back to him. And he walked off. Then he responded to one of my tweets that I sent him, like, hey Dave, I hope you're doing well. Because he tweeted the show when he said, hey guys, go get him. Football season's back. I'm like, hey, hope you're doing well. And he said, I'm going to need one last miracle. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's what I got out. Are you serious?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
That was only a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you ever watched the documentary here on VSiN and at Circa, The Quest for $9.2 million or The Quest for $14 million, Dave was showcasing it quite a bit. And he was always, he always had great sound bites, and he was terrific in this racket. And he was a phenomenal storyteller. And the thing that everybody has said, because it's true, is that, he was a great dude, but also he had a permanent smile on his face that was super infectious, and not many people are like that. And he was always, always, always in an upbeat mood. Fantastic personality. Great guy. And I wish more people could be like him. I wish I could be like that more often. And gone far too soon.
He came in studio once, and he told a great story about the handle. Like, you'll be shocked by the handle on the coin toss every year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The decision and how much money is bet on that, and the great stories that he had and told. Always dressed up with the jersey and the matching hat. And I like what Adam Burke tweeted. I admired his outlook on life and being so positive. In such a polarizing and divisive world, we all had the same stance on Dave, and always wanted to chat and say hello. And like, it was once here at Circa, and I ran into him at the Golden Gate Valet. I ran into him at the D Sportsbook, and he just comes over. Come on, let's get a picture. Come on.
Yeah.
And he was always running around town and going to the various sports books and talking to people. And a great storyteller and a great guy, and condolences to his family, no doubt.
Absolutely.
And that's a killer when you see, he tweeted back at the show a couple weeks ago, and then his wife has to put story from the book Final Time in the long thread of what happened, that we lost him.
Absolutely crushing to those who were really close to him. Obviously, it goes without saying, the wife and the kids, I reached out to Jeff Davis today, who works here at Circa, and he goes way back with Dave, all the way back to the M here in Las Vegas, back to like 2010. And he just said he was universally loved. That's not easy to do. And he pulled it off. And one of the stories that he loved to tell, and he told it with us once, and he told it to a bunch of different spots, but it's an amazing story. It was, in fact, in 2011, it was the Packers-Steelers Super Bowl. And he's working behind the counter at the M, and he said, 6:30 in the morning. Guy walks in, says, I want to bet the Super Bowl. And he's like, sure, of course. How much? Guy says $1 million. He's like, no problem, buddy. He doubts it. He's like, I hear this all the time. You're not going to bet $1 million. He's like, when you go get the money and come back, we'll take $1 million from you. He's like, okay, got it right here. He reached down, had a duffel bag, put it on the counter, goes, here's my $1 million. He's like, oh, welp, all right. Yeah. Took the money in the back, and he's like, boys, guy wants $1 million on the Packers. Okay, count the money, take it. 18 minutes later, a guy comes in, Dave, I want to bet the Super Bowl. All right, how much? I want $1 million on the Steelers. And he's like, what the hell is this? Get out of here. And he's like, okay, when you get the money, come back and we'll take it. The guy's like, hold on. Reach down. Duffel bag. Wasn't, as he pointed out, not as quite as nice as the previous duffel bag. But he's like, the money's in there somewhere. Sure as, you know what? Here's $1 million, guy. In a span of 18 minutes, 2 different $1 million bets on each side.
Oh, man.
And this is the way that he could, put his own spin on it and tell that story. It's like he took you behind the counter, and was able to like relay it to anybody who, even if you're like not even a bettor or a beginner, you're like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I get it.
I think we should be able to swear. But he had a great line.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Nobody knows bleep.
Yep.
And you just say, yeah, this is, betting splits, all this, and there's no way so-and-so is going to win this game, and you know what happened. And it would be no one knows bleep. I mean, look what the Guardians are doing. I mean, it just, Detroit was the best team in baseball. Now they could miss the playoffs, an 11-game lead 17 days ago, and if they lose today, they're out of first place.
That's a great saying. Like in this racket, he would say it all the time on Twitter with the bad beats. And it makes a lot of sense. He's like, we could take $1 million from the same guy over and over and over again. Is he a winning bettor? Sure. He'll hit like 55%, but nobody knows bleep. You don't know what the outcome's going to be. I mean, look no further than the game that we've talked about still, and today's Tuesday. We're still talking about the Rams-Eagles game from Sunday and how bad of a beat that was. I mean, imagine having Philadelphia and watching that game. You gave up on the game 100 different times. There's no way you're going to cash that ticket.
Yeah.
And then, there it goes. But that's the NFL for you.
Yeah. How could the Browns beat the Packers? Just a mismatch on paper. There's no way they could move the ball. But you make some mistakes. Guy makes a 55-yard field goal. You have one blocked. That's it. Survivor implications, everything.
Yeah.
Even, you brought it up yesterday. The Bills, what were they, 17-point dogs at Minnesota? Won the game?
Right away in the season. Josh Allen's second year, maybe, something like that. Rookie season, if I recall correctly. I think he was on the team at that point, wasn't he? Yeah. So
that's the main takeaway, though, the positivity. And always in a good mood and glad to see him and great stories. And let's get a picture and let's hang out. And damn, just a great guy.
I know.
I just can't believe how fast it escalated, too. My mom had cancer, and my mom beat cancer, and then it came back. Yeah.
And then when it came back, we're just done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Dave. You were an amazing guy. We haven't even touched on this news yet today in the National Football League. The Giants made the move. They're going to go to Jackson Dart. And as a result of that, you're looking around like, what do we do here for a bet? Well, the Chargers are up to 6.5-point favorites now. And Circa adjusted Jackson Dart to plus 550 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Hasn't started a game. He's
okay. So in the summer, I talked to a great Giants source, and I did a 10-minute breakdown on Scattaboo for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And now he's down to like 12-1, 15-1. Does this news hurt or help us? Because they're going to score more points now. But Are they going to give it to a quarterback? They're not going to win a lot of games. You would think they're going to win more games now because this is the correct move, and what Wilson did was ridiculous Sunday night. He didn't want to throw another interception, so he's throwing the ball up the tunnel, and he's throwing the ball away on 4th down because he didn't want to throw it up for grabs or a 50-50 ball.
Off the goalpost.
Right. Yeah. It's like he's trying to do it on purpose, back-to-back plays, and then the crowd's all over him, and the excitement and cheering every time Dart comes in. I think this helps us, though.
With Scadaboo?
Yeah. The other thing is, according to a Giants source, Tracy is so worried about Scadaboo taking his job, he popped his shoulder back into place with what happened with that shoulder injury.
He pulled a Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon?
That's right, yeah. Right. Yeah, did that too. Get out of the straitjacket. They love Winston. Great locker room guy. Not so much Wilson. And I saw this on Twitter. I go, get out of here. That's ridiculous. But this guy knew what he was talking about. The Giants are talking to the Bengals about moving Wilson.
Okay. I don't hate that.
Oh, I would.
I would actually. You know what I would do?
I'm fine with Brown. He played a bad game, but I don't want Russell Wilson.
Would you rather? I would actually ask them about Jameis Winston.
He's not available.
Okay, well, because beyond this, if it doesn't work with Dart, they're not going back to Russ. They're going to Jameis Winston. Mm-hmm. And the offense, again, it'll look vile and nasty at times with Jameis, but it will also pop because he'll take shots. He doesn't care. That dude doesn't. He could throw 5 INTs in the first half and let it rip. That doesn't affect him for a second. But I think Dart in now, it can only hurt us. Because what if he's good? And it takes away from Scadaboo.
Yeah.
But I also think the highlight reel for Scadaboo, if he plays the entire year, is going to... Yes.
Yep. And the touchdowns and breaking the tackles. And, he's got the Mike Allstott thing going on and everything. I mean, he's a beast.
Oh, look at how athletic that first touchdown was the other night.
Yeah. Yeah.
For him to keep his body off the ground and leap like that and still get in the air, and he's going to...
We're okay.
Oh, totally, yeah.
I mean, the Genty stuff's ridiculous. The Ward price is ridiculous. And some people even said that the Warren price is ridiculous. Like, because Fannin has more catches.
Yeah.
But, you got to factor in liability, too, and other stuff. But I know some people were like, how is Warren this price?
Sure.
Fannin's got better numbers.
Up next, best and worst teams in the NFL and college football ATS. And with totals, these two championship favorites are off to terrible starts against the spread. Find out who they are coming up next.
DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices. We'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome in. Coming up in 15 minutes, pro bettor Paul Stone on the show. Some of his best bets with analysis in college football for the weekend and how he would approach betting the Ryder Cup. I know he was betting this a lot, like in the summertime. When books were posting this, he's like, yeah, I like this number quite a bit. So we'll find out how he would bet it as of today. And Pauly, our first installment here of the season, looking at the best and worst teams in the NFL and college football against the spread. And with totals and in the NFL, two teams are 3-0 ATS, the Colts and the Chargers. And the Colts are covering on average by 13.7 points per game. 2 blowouts certainly helps. But that's what they did in week 1 and also last weekend against Tennessee. Seattle is 2-1. The Bills, Eagles, Niners, Buccaneers, Cardinals, and the Lions. And Seattle is covering on average by 13.2 points per game. Again, 2 blowouts now. Killed Pittsburgh on the road. And what they did to the Saints last week. Your worst teams in the NFL. ATS. The Broncos are 0-3. How about that? As are the Texans and the Saints. Are the Saints going to be the Titans from last year?
Could be, yes. I think that's in play. And I'll tell you, that is tough if you want to what you want to do with the Texans coming up at home against the Titans.
How popular are they going to be in Survivor?
I don't know. Good question. They can't score. The O-line's terrible.
Mm-hmm. All right. 1 and 2 teams, ATS, Bengals, Steelers, Falcons, Ravens, and the Bears. With totals, look at Baltimore. They are 3-0 to the over now, and they are going over by 18.5 points per game. Awesome, elite offense and terrible defense so far.
Yep.
A bunch of teams 2-1 to the over. Saints, Bengals, Steelers, Bears, Dolphins, Titans, Bills, as are the Jets.
Yep.
The Jets and the Lions so far going over on average by 11 points per game. The Bears and the Colts are going over on average by more than 9 points per game in their contests.
Yeah, and something to go back on at the top of the show with Monday Night Football. I know it's the Lions and Josh Allen that just had no problems going against you so far, and you couldn't stop anything. But you're going to face quarterbacks like this in January.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see. They got to fix this. I know guys were out, but if you can't get stops right now, what that looks like, you're not going anywhere in January.
Your best under teams so far, I'll pinpoint 3 teams here. The Texans, the Falcons, and the Packers are all 3-0 to the under. Houston games so far staying under by 13.2 points per game. Atlanta by 11.7, and the Packers are staying under by 9.7 points per game on average. Houston and Tennessee this week, that total is, 39.5? Did you bet the under in that game yet?
No, I should have, yeah.
They've allowed 51 points. They're 0-3, and they've scored 40 so far in the year.
Yeah.
It's a perfect recipe. Stroud is broken. The offense has, it's a non-zero chance, but, the explosive play rate is, not non-existent for the most part, and the defense is just fantastic. And they can't run the football.
Yep, right.
Okay. I think that's in the NFL, yeah? We move to college football now and look at the best teams in college football against the spread. A ton of contenders here. A lot of teams are undefeated. Memphis, Miss State, Vandy, La Tech, Utah State are all 4-0. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Arizona, BYU, and Florida, 3-0 ATS. And
no, Florida.
Yeah, Florida. That can't be
wrong.
updated.
That's
no,
wrong.
Yeah, okay. You're right. And I'll tell you, here are the numbers that you need to know with how much they're covering by. Vandy 4-0 covering by 20 points per game. La Tech covering by 15.4 points per game. Utah State by 15 points per game.
Maybe that was supposed to be South Florida. Is that they've covered every game? I think that
they got blasted by Miami.
Oh, you're right. My fault.
They're 3-1 covering on average by 11.4 points per game. FSU was listed at 3-0. Maybe it was Florida State.
Okay.
3-0 covering on average by 22.7 points per game.
Got it.
How about that guy? How about Castellanos for Heisman after the Mateer news?
Yeah. Big game against Miami coming up.
And if you're just tuning in, John Mateer is going to miss, 3 to 4 weeks? Thumb injury? So, if FSU wins that game, guys putting up rock solid numbers, man.
Yeah.
The worst teams in college football, ATS. Well, again, it's early here, so you're going to have a lot of teams who are undefeated. But with the...
I didn't think it'd be this many, though. And there's some big names.
0-4, you have SMU, Clemson, K-State, Liberty, Vatech, and Oregon State. Clemson is missing the cover on average by 17 points per game.
Penn State's 0-3 ATS?
Penn State and Georgia, by the way.
I love to run the score up and cover for the boosters?
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are the 2 teams I was talking about before the break. So both teams, title contention, right? 0-3 ATS, Penn State missing the cover on average by 5.7 points per game, and Georgia's missing the cover on average by 8.2 points per game so far.
I think Penn State might regret not playing anybody before this Oregon game.
I don't disagree.
I think that was a bad scheduling job. You're getting tested, and you can say all you want about the environment Saturday night, but you got a big step up in competition.
By the way, can we end this now? As more teams are going to 9 games in conference, and they're going to add a 10th game against, can we end the teams playing cupcakes in a non-conference?
Yeah.
That has to come to a complete end. You got to schedule at least somebody good from another Power 4 in the non-con. One final nugget here. UCLA 0-3 ATS, they are missing the cover on average by 25 points per game.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma State's 0-3 fired Mike Gundy today. Yeah. They're missing by 20 points per game.
But at UCLA, you're laying 15 and lost by 30, whatever it was.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And Okay, so some over-under stuff in college football as well, just to, for the record kind of stuff. Tennessee's 4-0 to the over, going over by 24 points per week.
Imagine Aguilar, Heisman, if they would have beat Georgia.
I would agree. Yeah, he's still like 14-1 today.
He's been great. Best thing that happened to that program. Nico pulled that nonsense.
Agreed. Duke, Rutgers, Georgia Southern, Missouri, Virginia, all 4-0. Bama's 3-0. Texas A&M also 3-0. And then the best teams to the under on the year. I want to get the exact numbers here. Florida is 4-0 to the under. And they're staying under by 15 points per game. West Virginia, Oklahoma also 4-0 to the under. Oklahoma staying under by 10.3 points per game. West Virginia by 10.9 points per game.
Excellent. Good stuff.
We'll do that every week.
Final dance in Major League Baseball. The number one team, ROI, the Milwaukee Brewers, up 21 units this year. Miami Marlins, up almost 20 units. 4 games under 500.
Ah, wow. Okay.
What a story.
All right.
The Jays up 16 units.
Have to be.
The Guardians up 14 units. And the Astros up 6 units. Checking in at number 5.
I would not have guessed that with Houston.
I was surprised by that. At the bottom, no surprise. Rockies down 35 units, 114 losses. The Minnesota Twins down 27 units on the season. Atlanta has won 9 in a row. Still down 24 units on the season.
Sure.
24 units.
I mean, for a long time, their power rating this year, even with all the injuries and the terrible record, they were
Big
still
favorites,
huge favorites.
Yep. They are 74 and 83, even with the 9-game winning streak.
Oh.
The Mets down 15 units. And how about this? The 5th worst team ROI. 20 games over 500. The Dodgers. Down 13 units on the season.
Well, their win total was 103.5.
Yep. The number one over pitcher in baseball was Kikuchi, 22-11 to the over. DeGrom, 18-11. Sonny Gray, 18-12. The most profitable pitcher, Priester, up 966. They've won his last 19 appearances and I think 16 starts. Trevor Rogers, up 948. What a year this guy's had.
I'm going to make a comment. I'm going to file this away. In a couple of months, I will make a comment about Trevor Rogers on the show. I can't make it right now for betting reasons, but file that one away, Pauly.
Robbie Ray up 930. Jason Junk up 891. And Giolito, who goes tonight, 5th most profitable pitcher this year in baseball, up 8 units and change. And they need him to get a win in Toronto.
You want him? The betting market likes Boston today.
Yeah.
In the game?
I'm going to take the Jays.
Are you? Gossman can deliver.
You got the Yankees on there, but you know the Yankees are going to sweep the White Sox. So Toronto can't mess around here.
White Sox been feisty, though, this month. A little bit more than that. How tight are some of these teams, by the way? Like, how tight is Toronto in this series? How tight is Detroit?
I think they can be loose. Detroit's going to be tight. Toronto can be loose.
They're going to be tighter than bark on a tree.
Toronto's in the playoffs.
That was
Detroit can miss it. And they know it's, oh my God, we're going to choke. What happened? Why? We were 11 up 2 weeks ago. What gives?
My dad had a lot of great sayings. That was one of them when he wanted to make fun of somebody about how cheap they were. You are tighter than bark on a tree.
I like 2 coats of paint. No?
The bark on the trees. Well, I grew up with that. I heard it over and over and over and again. And so it was a good one to me, yeah.
Wild season.
He's the my dad's the one with "Oh My Aching Ass."
Oh My Aching Ass, yeah. Loved them, yeah. Gives you the keys. Too much traffic out here in Vegas.
Well,
yeah.
Professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the program coming up next. Some best bets in college football and how would he bet the Ryder Cup today with the updated numbers. We'll ask him next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good to have you on board here on a Tuesday. We're live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. We'll get some best bets with analysis now with professional sports bettor Paul Stone. He joins us on the progressive guest line. Also, his thoughts on the current numbers on the Ryder Cup. I know he's been betting this a lot here leading up to the event. Good afternoon, Paul. Thanks for the time today. Let's start here. A couple of weeks ago, missed date. Fortunate to get the win outright against Arizona State, but they were live the entire time against the Sun Devils in that game at home. Maybe a spot you're going to want to be on here with this team throughout the entire year. They're catching a Tennessee team coming off of 2 weeks here now. gave away the game against Georgia, and then played UAB, who, I mean, my God, their defense is high school bad. Miss State's catching 7.5 or 8 at home in this game today. Do you like the dog in this spot?
I do. First of all, Tennessee opened their season with a 45-26 victory over Syracuse in a neutral site game played there in Atlanta. So Saturday's SEC matchup in Starkville against Mississippi State represents the Volunteers' first true road game of the season. I'm sure the cowbell's going to be clanging in full force to welcome the 15th ranked visitors to Davis-Wade Stadium. Undefeated Mississippi State, 4-0. As you mentioned, they've already upset one top 15 opponent, knocking off defending Big 12 champion and then 13th ranked Arizona State by 24-20 final as a 6.5-point home underdog back in week 2. And I tell you, Mississippi State's got their quarterback back. Blake Shapen last year missed most of the season due to a shoulder injury, but he's back and healthy for the Bulldogs. He's a veteran guy, has 31 career starts. This season, he's completed 67 of 100 passes for 884 yards, an average, obviously, of 8.8 yards per attempt, 7 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions. And a big part of my handicap here is I believe he's going to be effective against a Tennessee secondary that will once again be missing its starting cornerbacks. Jermod McCoy, he's a guy who got hurt working out in January near his home in Tyler, Texas. And then their other cornerback, Ricky Gibson, he's out for the year with an injury as well. Those are 2 veteran guys. They have struggled against the pass in their 3 games against FBS opponents this year, Tennessee, and they're good passing teams. I want to put that out front. Syracuse, Georgia, and UAB all throw the ball a lot. They're pretty effective through the air, but Tennessee's allowed 316.3 yards per game passing in those 3 games. They've allowed 69% completion rate, 7.7 yards per attempt. So I think Mississippi State's going to be able to throw the ball on them. Difficult to win on the road in the SEC. This will be the first SEC road start for Joey Aguilar. I like Mississippi State plus the 7.5, and certainly find that 8 if you can.
All right, I'm interested in this breakdown here because you love this game. Hawaii takes on Air Force. The total's 53. Last week, Boise beat Air Force 49-37. There was a combined 1,000 yards in the game. Tell me what happens here.
Yeah, Air Force, they played 3 games this year. They played FCS Bucknell to start the season. Then they played their last 2 games against Mountain West competition, Utah State and Boise State. In each of those 3 games, the winning team has scored 49 points. And in those games, Air Force and its opponent have combined to average a total of 75.7 points in those 3 games. In a nutshell, Air Force got a really good offense. They scored a total in their 2 Mountain West games against Utah State and Air Force. They scored a total of 67 points, 957 yards, 959 yards actually. Moved the ball very well. They've got an exciting offense. I think they found their quarterback. But as good as that offense is, their defense is worse. Their defense might be the worst, probably is the worst in the Mountain West, one of the worst, in my opinion, in the entire 136-team FBS structure. As we've already said, Boise State and Utah State both hung 49 points on Air Force. They combined for a total of 1,065 yards against the Falcons, averaged 9.3 yards per play.
Jeez.
And the Falcons, Air Force, they are equal opportunity defenders. They cannot defend the run, but they can't defend the pass either. They are bad at both. They gave up an average of 7.5 yards per carry combined in those 2 Mountain West losses. Gave up 12.2 yards per pass attempt in those 2 games. To be fair, their defense, they probably weren't going to be very good to begin with, but they have been decimated by injuries and defections. They started 3 sophomores and a true freshman on defense last week in the loss to Boise. If you know Service Academy football, that's not the recipe for winning Service Academy football. They also had 2 guys in the offseason that were probably going to be 2 of their better defensive players, nickelback Lincoln Tootie Mariner and linebacker David Santiago, transfer to Southern Utah and Michigan State, respectively. Hawaii, they come in, they pass 63% of their offensive plays. And if you watch them play, they don't go vertical. They are dink and dunk, a lot of short passes, only average 5.3 yards per attempt this season, but they're going to get the ball in space, and they're going to average more than 5.3 yards per attempt against this Air Force defense. I think both teams are going to score at least 27, 28 points. I like Hawaii and Air Force over the total currently of 53.5.
Very good breakdown. Paul Stone, our guest. He is on the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on X. He's at Paul Stone Sports. We just ran down before you popped on the best and worst teams in college football ATS and with totals. Louisville's on the list for one of the worst teams in college football against the spread, Paul. They're 0-3. They're not getting they're not missing the cover by a zillion points or anything like that. It's 3 points on average per game. But here they are laying 4.5 on the road against Pittsburgh. Do you like the dog?
I do. I actually made Louisville a 2.5-point favorite here, so that 4.5 is pretty appetizing. There's several situational aspects, Mitch, that I like in this matchup that appeal to my handicapping taste. First of all, Pittsburgh's off a defeat. They fell to West Virginia 31-24 in overtime 2 weeks ago in Morgantown in the backyard brawl, so they're off a defeat. I like that component. Secondly, they're off an early season bye. They've had the opportunity to do some early season teaching to reset and as well to let that loss stew a little bit. I like that aspect of it as well. And then thirdly, they are getting points at home. And I love backing home underdogs, especially in conference play and especially when they lost to the same team 10 months ago by 4 touchdowns. So I like all those elements. Pitt enters this game 2-1. Louisville comes in undefeated at 3-0. Their victories have come, though, against a trio of non-Power 4 opponents, those being FCS, Eastern Kentucky, James Madison, and Bowling Green. They did against James Madison actually trail that game 14-6 midway through the third quarter before rallying for a 28-14 victory. Louisville, they have not been good in recent seasons as a road favorite, so their inability to produce in this role is appealing as well. They are 1-7 against the spread as a road favorite since the start of 2022. They have a new quarterback, Miller Moss, the Southern Cal transfer. And Moss last year in 4 road starts, he threw a total of 7 interceptions. And USC threw the ball a lot, to be fair, but in those 4 starts, 7 interceptions, 4 starts on the road, 7 interceptions, those games against Michigan, Minnesota, Maryland, and Washington. I give, Pitt the advantage at quarterback with Eli Holstein. Also, Louisville has some injury situations. One of their top linebackers, Stanquan Clark, a returning starter. He's out for the year, so he obviously won't play. Their top 2 running backs, Isaac Brown and Duke Watson, both banged up. I think they'll both play, but I think they'll be at less than 100%. Pitt, 10-5 as a home underdog since 2018. Also 23-19 off a straight-up loss since 2017. Doesn't sound too impressive, but that's 55%. I like Pitt plus 4.5. over Louisville.
All right, very good. In about 90 seconds here, I know that you've been fired up for the Ryder Cup, played on American soil this weekend for a long time. Hell, you made a visit to Las Vegas months ago in the summertime just to bet it because you got the best number out here. So what number were you betting on USA here? And at the current price, would you do anything with it? They're around $1.50 or higher to lift the trophy. And in the 3-way, they're $1.55, maybe even a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, I tell you, if this, my wife wants a new car and she won't be getting one till about 2045 if USA doesn't win here. But, it's not really a sophisticated handicap. I was talking to a buddy this morning and we were talking about what's the top home field advantage in all of sports. And I think it might be the home country hosting the Ryder Cup. I mean, these are raucous fans. Extremely partisan, to put it mildly. The home country has won 8 of the last 9 Ryder Cups. So nothing too sophisticated. I just like the home country. I did look, this kind of concerned me. I saw the alcohol prices there at Bethpage Black this weekend. A Michelob Ultra 25 ounce is $18. A Bud Light 16 ounce, not that Matt Humans would be interested in a Bud Light, but that's $15. I just hope this doesn't affect their ability to get in the proper frame of mind to, give the Europeans a little business. So I like USA even at minus 150, minus 155. I've got a number of bets on USA to raise the trophy on Sunday. So go USA.
There you go. Let's hope they get it done, Paul. Thanks for the great analysis. As always, buddy, we appreciate it. Good luck this week.
Hey, same to you guys. Have a great weekend.
There you go. He joined us on the Progressive Guest Line. We'll dive into Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria, talk about some long shot bets next here on VSiN.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW, let us surprise you.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Do you like the service at Mitch and Pauly's?
I don't tip. You don't tip? No, I don't believe in it.
Leave us a tip on your way out.
You don't tip.
You don't tip. What do you mean you don't tip?
You don't believe in it.
The guys crack open the jar and see what the listeners have left behind.
So what, no TV now?
It's time for the tip jar at Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria.
Love it. Sponsored by Mama's Pizza. Mama's Pizza, the only place where your pizza money always gets you a win. Check them out at mamaspizzas.net or on Instagram, the Mama's Pizza. Let's see some creativity here because the Brewers have already wrapped up the division and the Blue Jays can do it as well. Donnie, Guardians to win the American League, Reds to win the National League. 526-1. Placed it last night. I can't imagine what this was months ago. I'll tell you that. Because the Reds are only I think, around 4 games over 500.
Right, they are.
Yeah.
So the two teams from Ohio would actually get in. You know, it's doesn't it feel like it goes like that occasionally in baseball when a team suddenly gets blazing? I always think of the 2007 Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
Just got blazing hot in September and
came
out of nowhere and made the World Series.
Yeah. A lot of these, too. A lot of people were listening that day I gave out Scatterboo. But this is the timing here. Swivel socks, condolences. Oklahoma to win it. Mateer Heisman, Scatterboo, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Over 15,000 to 1.
Yeah, that's
2,800 to 1 now, too. Broken hand for Mateer, out a month. Lynx win the WNBA title. 2 wins away from going to the finals. USA wins the Ryder Cup. Phillies National League. James Madison Sun Belt. Bills 1 seed. 210 to 1 from Peter.
He placed that on August 28th.
Not bad.
That's
you're cooking.
Yeah, that's really good. I like those anchors right there.
Mike in Pennsylvania. Texas Tech to make the playoff. Brentford relegated. Chiefs to miss. BYU makes the Final Four. 180 to 1.
Oh, damn. I love that.
That's good.
BYU in college hoops.
I like it.
Because they got the number 1 kid, obviously. They're like 20 to 1 to win the title.
Yeah.
Chiefs to miss. Well, I mean, I'm all about that one as well. That's, does it say when he placed that one?
It does not, no.
Oh,
that's excellent.
man, I'm going to tinker
win.
with that.
Brad Powers says Texas Tech is favored in all their games coming up, or most of them. And how about that? Now, I'm not anti-Caitlin Clark, but I am fascinated by this story if the Fever can make the finals without her.
Sure.
It's the ultimate, Ewing theory. What didn't they like? What happened? How can they have 2 of their best players out and keep winning? Fever win the WNBA. Phillies win the World Series. Eagles win the NFC. 620 to 1 flip.
Long shots there, obviously.
So the Fever were 9 to 1 to win their first round series and did. They were 10 or 11 to 1 to beat the Aces. They're up 1 game to nothing.
Well, what were they
best of 5?
What were they on the money line in game 1? 4 to 1?
Yeah, I believe so.
And now they're catching 9.5 tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nate, Dodgers win the National League, Miami ACC, Oregon Big Ten, Rams Division, Ravens AFC. 254 to 1.
Well, if you go back before last night, I would have said the Ravens might be my favorite one on that whole thing. Now they might be my least favorite.
This is great. Scott in Pennsylvania. It's an Indy Jeff parlay from the summer. Celinda and Tosti to both finish top 20 at big prices.
Right.
Duke or Florida to win the title in hoops. They already did, obviously, over. He just needs the Dodgers to win the World Series. 224 to 1. Damn. The first 3 are in.
And by the way, feel free to send them in if you're that's what we want to see. If you have 1 leg left.
Yes.
We want to showcase those as well. Yeah,
because the Brewers already got there. And the Jays are right there, too. So Send those in if you already cashed them. Spawn U.S. Open, LSU College World Series, Mets World Series. Wes. Got 2 of them in.
You could actually, if he lives in Las Vegas, he could have been betting the no on the Mets to, not win the World Series or not even to win the National League as part of a hedge. But
yeah. Chris, a Mitch Marner special. Maple Leafs Golden Knights exacta, 50-1.
I don't hate it. I bet the Golden Knights the day that they got him.
All right.
Whatever the number was.
Here's my favorite one. Here's my favorite one. Mark Hoppel. He bet this August 6th FanDuel in Iowa. No cash out offer yet. What? Cal Raleigh MVP, Horton Rookie of the Year, Skubal Cy Young, Ohtani MVP, 115-1. Where's the cash out button?
Well, they're probably not going to offer it because
he's got 3 of them in.
They might be taking their chance with Raleigh to win the MVP. Taking a stance there, just saying.
Oh, that's a big ticket.
How would you hedge that if you were him? Only take Judge to win the MVP?
Yeah, Horton's got it, doesn't he? Is Baldwin still in the mix?
Baldwin's still cooking.
Baldwin's putting up good numbers, but I mean, this guy's he's 8-1 with an ERA under 1.
Oh, I know. He should win that award, but
Ryan in Indiana, Seahawks division, exacta, Lynx over Fever.
Ooh.
Indiana makes the college football playoff. USA Ryder Cup, 129-1.
Well, here's my one takeaway from this segment today: is that a very popular, and I get it, leg or anchor would be USA to win the Ryder Cup. So if you want to get involved with that, you need to do it very soon, like this week.
Steve, Bucks, Eagles, Chargers, Bills, all win the division. Texans finished in 3rd.
Boy, you got to
28-1. Yeah,
gotta thread the needle there with the Texans. But the other one, sure. And then you can also, how do you get creative though if the other ones are looking like super good?
Yeah. Brandon in Louisiana, Asia Wilson MVP.
Here we go.
Cash it. Georgia Tech makes the playoff.
That's looking good.
Liverpool repeats. Chargers and Diamondbacks make the playoffs. 205-1.
So the Diamondbacks are the least likely thing to happen?
Yes.
Out of the whole group?
Yes. They're 9-1.
Okay. He needs a little bit of a miracle this week.
They're 1 back, don't have tiebreakers, and have a grueling schedule.
Actually,
they can get in there, though. I mean, I can see the Reds puking on themselves.
Does he have to lay $15 on the no?
Yeah.
All right.
I hope you get it's great. Get a win tonight and a Reds loss.
Right.
Couple from Ozzy. Ozzy has a Buka Big, and he also has Scattaboo for $10,000 to $200 on Scattaboo, $10,000 as well. The couple of tickets that he has.
And Jackson Dart, he got him at 35-1.
You got Jackson Dart too at 35-1.
I said this on the air 2 weeks ago. I bet Dart at that was after the first game of the year. Like, we're going to get Dart sooner than later. I got to take him at 25-1.
How about Hoover, Heisman? TCU quarterback.
Did you see what he's down to?
No.
I think he's plus 850 here at Circa.
Yeah. He's got Hoover 100-1 as well.
That kid is damn good.
One. Yes, excellent. Took a bad beat last night. Mama's Pizza has your back. Feeding hungry Texans since 1968. They've won a ton of Best Pizza awards. It's the best. Love it. Best pepperoni I've ever had. Meat lovers. The chicken and bacon pizza with Alfredo sauce. It's the ingredients, the crust and the dough, the garlic butter on the crust. Oh! And right by Jerry's World, there's a location half a mile away for you football fans. Franchise opportunities available if you're thinking long-term value. Let's get this up to 20. And let's get one in Las Vegas. 817-870-2571. 817-870-2571. MamasPizzas.net. The Mama's Pizza on Instagram. A pound of mozzarella on every large pie. 12 in Dallas, 3 in Houston, 1 coming in Oklahoma. Mama's Pizza, the only pick that covers.
So here's what we want moving forward for this segment as well, as part of it, right? As we mentioned, like if you've already cashed one of these big cross-sport parlays, absolutely. We want to celebrate it with you on the air. Even if you have like 1 open leg or 2 open legs left, we want to see that. And here is something new too for like the audience where they can take advantage of it. And that is, give us your best recommendation. We want 1 anchor leg that you would say, I'm super comfortable building cross-sport parlays around this. And again, judging by the feedback that we have so far and some of the bets that we just ran down in this segment, USA to win the Ryder Cup would be one of them. I think Liverpool to win the Prim would be another one. Pauly, NFL stuff, I would think, Bills to get the 1 seed in the AFC?
Yep.
Maybe Bills most wins in football. And then if you want to get involved with like certain teams to make the playoff and don't want to get like maybe not like a $5 favorite, but if you want to send anything like around a $2 favorite all the way up to like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 to 1 to build them around, I think that's a really good idea. And that way we can then start to put them together like our buddy Scott in Seattle, who took his wife to Bora Bora after they all cashed. He was building cross-sport parlays. Everything was tied into like Oklahoma City to win the West and to win the NBA title. He built it around Florida to win the East in the NHL. And then he had a couple of other ones that he would build them around. That's the key to the whole point here is like, to me, I can't like, if you're going to bet a golfer to win an event and then tie it into cross-sport, we're getting too nuts at that point. But if you want to do like some of these exactas or a team to make it to their title game, that to me is awesome stuff.
Yeah.
You know? FTM@vsin.com is the email. FTM@vsin.com on X at vsin live at Mitch Moss Radio at Pauly Howard.
The Lynx are minus 280 to win the title. And the Aces down 1-0 are minus 250 still series price. Wow. 9-point favorites tonight. This fever thing's crazy.
So do we get a full bounce back here? They said they openly admitted that they didn't take him seriously in game 1.
I was watching the interview live. Asia Wilson didn't even know who they're going to. He thought, I was watching it.
Yeah.
She goes, you play Indiana. Like, what? I thought we played Atlanta.
They thought they were playing Atlanta.
You play Indiana.
That's crazy. We're going to expand and give you all of the scenarios and numbers you need to know for tonight's Major League Baseball card coming up next.